Radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
So I probably won't be pulling the trigger on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X this year. Maybe next year. That's what I did with an Xbox One. I went next gen in 2014 and I got the Xbox One around the end of 2014. So usually I wait about 1 year in. By then there's a good little bit of new games to play. Usually there's not a whole lot to play right off the bat that's, next gen. But there's some next gen games coming out. One of them is NBA 2K21. I was curious who was going to be on the cover of this year's. I see it's Zion Williamson in the standard edition of Next Gen. There's a Mamba Forever Edition 2 with Kobe. Interesting thing about this, though, is the game is set at a base price of $69.99. Yeah, that's right. Prices might be going up. Prices might be going up. And this is a fucking sports game. This is a sports game, and most people would say already, it's a little more than goddamn roster updates for sports games, usually. So I think the $60 asking price, personally, for a sports game is a little bit too much. Little bit too much for a sports game, in my humble opinion. But now, $70. The standard editions for current gen are still going to be $60, but it's bumped up $10. Okay. I get it. Some might say it's long past due for the price of games to go up. They've been $60 for a long time. People are used to paying $60 for games. Just in the same way people are used to paying, $20, $25 for Blu-rays. But inflation is a thing. Car prices have went up. A lot of prices on things go up. But people get used to that nice area. $60. $60 for a game. I don't know if this is just for NBA 2K and maybe some other developers that think they can charge that kind of money. If there's a new Red Dead Redemption or GTA that comes out, I can almost guarantee you those games are going to be $70 or more, possibly. We're talking about standard editions. But maybe you might have some games that aren't that big that will still be $60 or maybe even less than $60 new. I'm not sure. I worry that this is actually probably going to cause a change with a lot of other developers if they get away with it. I don't know really how you can justify it if it's a type of game that is not a AAA game trying to charge $70. But I can see the justification, like I said, if it's maybe a huge game like a Red Dead Redemption or a GTA 6 or something that is going to last you maybe 50, 60, 70 hours. A huge, giant game. Okay? And like I said, some people might argue that's way past due for the price hike. It's not consumer friendly. It's not. But at some point, I kind of saw this coming. I mean, would it be 2030, 2040, and still be $60 price point? Inflation is a thing, ladies and gentlemen. It is a thing. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck. But I'm trying to look at the silver lining here. Nowadays, game prices do go down. There's people bringing back the game. Games seem to go down in price a little quicker than they used to, except for certain series. Nintendo games don't go down in price. Well, what does this mean for Nintendo games? Is the next Zelda going to be $70, $80? I don't think this is isolated. I don't think it is. I think other developers are going to see this and say, okay, well, they're the first one. What about microtransactions? I mean, if the argument is that they have to raise their prices because of development cost, okay, that's actually maybe a legitimate point. They say it takes more to develop for next gen, make the graphics all extra shiny and pretty for next gen. They might say, okay, it takes more time to develop these games. All right. If you get the extra money, the extra $10, will they get rid of microtransactions for next gen? You already know the fucking answer to that. No, they will not. I think it'll probably just even get worse for next gen. Look at the path of microtransactions. It's gotten progressively worse. And the argument from these developers has been, well, games have still been $60. We haven't raised the price of games in so long, so we have to get a little bit for microtransactions. So then what happens now? They're going to fucking double down is what's going to happen. Now, one last thing. If they're charging $70 for NBA 2K21, and I guess the next wrestling game, wait, are they skipping? They're skipping the next wrestling game, aren't they? And then, yeah, they're releasing it 2K22 because the last wrestling game was fucking atrocious. Now, if they are going to charge $10 more for the next gen edition, it better not be some bullshit where it looks almost exactly like current gen. You know? Like, if they got to defend it, then I want to really look next fucking gen. But what do y'all think? Are you willing to pay $10 more for certain games? Are you worried that the price point is going to be $70 pretty much for everything? Games that don't even deserve it. Hell, there's games that come out for $60 that don't even deserve the price point of $60. So, what say you? What say all of you? And has anyone heard anything else about any other publishers following suit as of yet?